second deputy speaker. I therefore beg to move that the second reading be laid now. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Finance. Honorable members, may I have spokespersons starting with DPP? Mangochi Southwest.
Will I take it from here?
Sorry?
Eh? Can I proceed?
Please. Switch on the mic, Honorable.
Madam Second Deputy Speaker, let me thank the leadership of my party for giving me this opportunity as Mangochi Southwest to respond on this bill, Bill number 14, which is a supplementary appropriation bill. For the benefit of Malawians that are listening and watching us, it will be important that they know what a supplementary appropriation bill is all about. It is a bill that seeks to regularize the over-expenditures out of the budget that we passed last year for 2024-25. Now, these over-expenditures have amounted to 500 billion, half a trillion. From the Democratic Progressive Party, we find that this is being too wasteful, too extravagant, and the government must do soul searching why they are overspending in this manner. And I would want quickly, for the benefit of Malawians, to know which votes have overspent. We have number one vote, which is vote 020, which is statutory payments. It has overspent by 151 billion. That is quite too much. We also have the pensions vote 030, 40 billion over expenditure. But what Malawians must take note, they vote on 050, the state residences, as well as 090, which is office of the president and cabinet. Alone, the 050, the state residences, has overspent by 25 billion. The question is, we were in this house, we allotted 42.5 billion for this year. Now, the Minister of Finance has gone ahead to spend without even the knowledge of this house. And he has overspent by 25 billion. The question is, what is happening at State House? What is happening at State House? The reports that we are hearing that at State House, there are people that are coming from our districts. 1,000 women are going to State House attending meetings there. Should we be speculating that the allowances are coming from this vote? No. Even chiefs have been invited to State House. Even religious leaders are being invited to State House. The question that Malawians should be asking, is this budget only for politicians, only for the chiefs, only for the religious leaders, only for the women?
Order, honorable members.
If this budget is for Malawians, so my appeal is, when we are appropriating this money, particularly for this money, the Minister of Finance must make sure that he should be prudent enough never to spend out of the budget unnecessarily like this one. The other, I will proceed there. There are also other votes that have been overspent. I just wanted to highlight. We have the MDF 101, it has been overspent by 33.7 billion. Minister of Lands, 35 billion. Minister of Agriculture, 72 billion. And yet, people out there, Madam Deputy Speaker, people out there, they haven't yet received their fertilizer as we speak now, but they have overspent. The question is, where is the money going? We have other votes like Ministry of Water, 22.9 billion overspent. Roads, vote number 274, it has been overspent by 43 billion, yet our roads are impassable. As we speak now, our roads are impassable. Where is the money going? So, and the NRB, and let me talk about NRB. NRB has overspent by another 25.9 billion, and this is the cost of inefficiency. When institutions are not properly carrying out what is mandated to them, they overspend. We have been lamenting in this country that NRB is not doing a proper job, and the result of that not doing a proper job is what we can see here, being spending above the budget by 25.9 billion. Similarly, make 66 billion overspent, coming from 59.7 billion, which we appropriated to them. The question is, we have been complaining that MEC should do its job properly. They must cover each and every. So the first phase was a waste of money, and that is why we are seeing here 66 billion overspent. And finally, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, is to do with this Ministry of Local Government. And this Ministry of Local Government, particularly councils, because councils report to the Ministry of Local Government. It is also another culprit of expenditure in this country. We are looking at Rongwe City, it has overspent by 14.6 billion. We have Blantyre City, 7.7 billion. Kasungu, 6.1 billion. Mberwa District, 9.6 billion. Mangoji, 6.2 billion. And Zomba, 6.3 billion. I've just sampled those that are materially high from 5 billion and above. Our plea as the Democratic Progressive Party, we have now the new budget, the budget that we are going to be appropriating now. Honorable Minister, you are the only one that we are giving these monies to. You will be answerable to the people of Malawi. When we come in on 16 September 2025, we Professor Arthur Peter Mutali, because we are coming in, we will start by auditing these expenditures. We will have to account how you have used this money. Here we are just appropriating. We are just appropriating, but we will demand that
honorable members,
must be accounted for.
Order.
And we are sending a message to the Auditor General.
In silence,
we are sending a message to the Auditor General to begin to look at these over expenditures and provide a report to the incoming government on 16 September 2025. With these few remarks, Honorable Minister, if we are going to say that we are supporting this appropriation, the supplementary appropriation, that will be out of order. But we just say that we have spoken, we have voiced our concern that this is not in order. Please go and make sure that you are prudent in your expenditures. Thank you very much, Madam Second Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member from Mangoji Southwest, representing DPP. May I have a spokesperson from UDF, please?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you. Oh, yes, sir. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for according this chance to UDF to comment on the Supplementary Appropriation Bill for 2024-2025. Madam Speaker, the UDF is very concerned with the over-expenditure that has been paraded in the supplementary appropriation. Overspending by $500 billion is unprecedented. Madam Speaker, I'm looking at the people of Zombantonia who are going to bed hungry. The people of Zombantonia who have not accessed
Oh,
fertilizer.
honorable member, you are speaking on behalf of UDF, so say the people of UDF.
Madam Speaker, it's an example. I would have mentioned Mangoji Kungulu. The people of Zombantonya, we have members of the UDF too. Even in Karonga, even in Chitipa, we have UDF members. Madam Speaker, I was saying, to overspend with $500 billion, 500 billion. Madam, this makes me to feel sorry for this country. The people that we have entrusted to look at the purse, they must explain how have we arrived at this? What have we done for us to overspend like this? When you look at state residences only, 25 billion, 25 billion. For Utilila Kapinga, Madam Speaker, you can't explain these figures. You know, Madam Speaker, 500 billion, you can actually produce 400 kilometers of road. You can do that. We can help Malawians. We can build bridges. We can buy food. We can buy fertilizer. But the overexpenditure here has to be explained, Madam Speaker. With these few remarks, allow me to sit down. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Leader of the House.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving the chance to the two political parties to speak.
Right Honorable, it must be alluded to that this is a summary of
An expenditure of which almost half of it, or closer to above half of it, was already done at the mid-year review.
So it's just a summary. But also, just to say that when members of parliament stand here and say, please go and pay gratuities, people are suffering. Please go and pay pension, people are suffering. When people now listen, this is what happens. When we demand MEC to go and do re-registration, this is what happens. So we are all of us calling for that. And even in this house, you know, the funny thing about members of parliament, they can talk about all their votes. They don't talk about that parliament has overspent. It's not good. Parliament has overspent. Let's not be selective.
Not with the records I have, leader, not with the records I have.
But just to say that points taken, the Honorable Minister of Finance, but I just wanted to sum it up to say part of these expenditures were reported. The Honorable Minister is simply aggregating everything for the year because we have come to the end of the year. But we must be able to appreciate the good work of being transparent and accountable. With those few remarks, allow me to beg that we wind up debate to allow the Honorable Minister to sum it up. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I now put a question, and the question is that debates on Bill number 14 of 2025, Supplementary Appropriation, be curtailed in order for the honorable minister wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Honorable Minister.
Second Deputy Speaker, I thank you very much this afternoon for allowing me to come and summarize and sum it up the submissions made by two spokespersons of finance from DPP and UDF. Second Deputy Speaker, just as I alluded to in the first place, the reasons why we circulated the schedule detailing where this supplementary appropriation is coming from was to provide honorable members with details as to where exactly and how we had spent in the year just ending. And I totally agree with the leader of the House that members are quite aware. Issues of pensions, gratuities, natural disasters, and other statutory obligations were coming from these, and these were obligations that we could not do without. And I'm happy that those that have spoken have also alluded to the same fact that we spent to that magnitude, but also we are a very transparent government, Madam Speaker. That's the reason why we bring these openly here, for them to be debated and agreed upon. And I'm happy, and with that happiness, Madam Speaker, allow me, in the same spirit of being transparent, to beg you, Madam Speaker, that the third reading be taken now, and Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Honorable Minister, thank you, but you have to beg for a third reading of the bill. Okay, fine. Honorable members, I now put a question, and the question is that Bill number 14 of 2025, Supplementary Appropriation, be read a third time. Second time? Second time, be read second time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Third reading when?
Madam Speaker, today and now.
Honorable members, I now put a question, and the question is that third reading of Bill number 14 of 2025 be read a third time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. I had a motion on the floor, so I couldn't stop it.
Bill number 14 of 2025, Supplementary Appropriation, third reading.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be read third time and pass.
Now put a question. I now put a question, and the question is that Bill number 14 of 2025 be read a third time and pass. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried, and the bill has passed. Chiradzulu South, what is it?
Madam Second Deputy Speaker, I think my point of order is on clarification and on technicality. I would want to understand from the Honorable Minister, because this supplementary appropriation was circulated a day or two before the end of the year. But the government did not necessarily stop. It means the government departments are still spending. As we speak now, they are spending till Monday on the 31st. So I wanted to find out from the Honorable Minister, how is he going to handle the expenses that are happening now after we have already passed the supplementary. Just a technicality, I just wanted to get confirmation. Just a confirmation. I know what I was doing, you know it, it's in the record. It gets clarification.
Honorable member, the honorable member for Chiradzulu South
I just need clarification from
is addressing the chair.
Yeah.
The honorable minister, may you just clarify? Thank you.
Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, I really appreciate the fact that the honorable member who raised the issue is the former Minister of Finance, and he actually knows that by tradition, government is a continued business. Even as we speak now, transactions are happening, and therefore, as we used to during their time, the same tradition goes that when we are laying these on the table, transactions continue. So this, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, has been clarified, but I know one of the reasons why he raised this is because we responded to him off the camera during break. But you know, this is a house of record. We need also to register to people who voted for us in order for us to come back. And I hope that he will come back and continue being the shadow minister of finance when this side will actually produce another government where we will continue as ministers of finance.
Thank you. May we proceed?
Business item 3A5, 3A4, bill number 13 of 2025, appropriation.
Thank you very much. I have so many points of orders. Honorable members, may we proceed, please? Honorable Minister, second reading when?
Madam Speaker, today and now.
Honorable members, I now put a question, and the question is that second reading of bill number 13 of 2025, appropriation, be read now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Bill number 13 of
We started over.
Bill number 13 of 2025, appropriation, second reading.
Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister.
Madam Second Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the appropriation bill number 13 of 2025 be read for the second time. And Madam Speaker, the bill before the House seeks to authorize the minister responsible for finance that the sum of 8,667,784,858 kwacha be part of the consolidated recurrent and capital accounts for the purposes set out in the recurrent development estimates. The provision will largely be used for the provision of public goods and services and the implementation of priority development projects and programs. May I therefore, Madam Speaker, through you invite all honorable members to support the bill. Madam Speaker, I therefore beg to move that second reading be taken today. Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much. DPP spokesperson. Mulanje South, Chiradzulo South.
Thank you, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, for giving the opportunity to DPP to respond to the bill number 13 as presented by the Minister of Finance. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, let me indicate that I think the figures that are being appropriated, I think have already been approved. I think the budget has been approved. But allow me, Madam Speaker, just to reiterate the points that we raised when we are responding to the budget statement by the Honorable Minister. What we are saying, yes, we have already approved these amounts, but we are currently requesting the Honorable Minister. I would want the Minister to listen. Yeah, our concerns, Honorable Minister, is one on expenditure. Because if you spend more, you are putting pressure on the monetary side. Because you are increasing money supply, that's why you see inflation going up. Make sure that you address the issue of expenditure as being discussed and presented by the Honorable for Mango Southwest. If you continue spending like this, I will guarantee you, you will not be able to manage inflation. You are not going to manage monetary policy. That's what we are saying. This issue is, every Malawian now is feeling it as we speak now. Prices are going up almost on daily basis. Is because one of the reasons is over expenditure. We are also concerned, Honorable Minister, that as we speak now, MRA is struggling to collect revenue. We have collected almost like 2 trillion. As we speak now. Now we have so increased that they should even raise more, almost 4.7. The question is, where would they get the money, MRA, in order to cover the budget? So, Mr. Minister of Finance, what we are saying also, we are also concerned on the revenue side, and I'm sure you're equally concerned, because even MRA, they are struggling to raise money in order to cover the budget. So we are saying also, we are very concerned in that area. As DPP, we are also concerned of the misalignment between the official rate and the exchange rate. I'm sure you agree with me, Honorable Minister. That's what is creating, because the parallel rate is quite higher. People are not willing to go and sell their forex to the banks. So we also say, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, through you, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, you need to deal with the issue of misalignment between the parallel rate and the official rate. If you don't address that, you have a problem. Thirdly, through you, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, is the issue of foreign exchange reserves. You need to find a way. You have put in the budget measures that you want to put in place to ensure that you have enough foreign exchange. I assume those policies, those measures that were put in place, they're going to work. But again, if you don't have foreign exchange, foreign reserves with the Reserve Bank of Malawi, I will guarantee you the kwacha will still continue to be unstable, and you will see a continued loss of value or devaluation of the Malawi kwacha. So what we are saying as DPP, we are saying, yes, you have approved those figures, but we are concerned of the area that I've mentioned. But obviously, as DPP, we need the budget because we want the government to function. Because people out there, they will need, for example, in hospitals, for them to operate, we need that. That's the very reason why we are saying we have to pass this budget. Because we are concerned with the people out there. But if you are given an opportunity, this budget would have said no. Because I will guarantee you it will be difficult for the minister to implement this budget. I'm saying it today, you will see it when you meet again at the mid-term. We are not worried that much, Madam Secretary Speaker, because I know in September I will come to revise this budget. I will come up with a new budget here. I'm saying this. We'll come here and revise this budget. We'll have another budget, a more realistic budget, and that will be in September. That's why, Madam Speaker.
Order, honorable members, order. Order.
That's why, Madam Speaker, we are not worried much, because we know this budget, we are going to implement it come September 2016.
Order, honorable members. Why is it a problem to mention in September? Thank you very much, the people of Zulu South. Zomba Antonia to represent UDF.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As UDF, on the Appropriation Bill of 2025, we don't have much to say. I just want to bring to the attention of the government the reason why we shifted our financial year from June to be starting from April was to get prepared in purchasing of farm inputs. This has not happened in this financial year. So we are expecting the ministry to fund the Ministry of Agriculture in good time so that they purchase the farm inputs in good time. Because the reason why we shifted the financial year, those reasons were not met in the previous year. Issue number 2, Madam Speaker, we need to check our insatiable appetite of borrowing. You know, as we are standing as a country, we are standing on 16 trillion, and it will be more. We know it will be more. Half of that, the money that we borrowed, half is this year's budget, 8 trillion. And number 3, Madam Speaker, what I want to highlight is on the issue of accountability. It will be very proper and wise for us to adequately fund the Office of the Auditor General for him to do his job for accountability's sake. With those few remarks, UDF support the bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leader of the House.
Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the 2 representatives of respective opposition parties. It's a good response for Chiradzulu South. This is not Page House. You present your budget Page House. The Honorable Minister of Finance, come September, actually November, he is going to be presenting a mid-year budget review. Honorable Simplex Chichola Banda. For you, you can present those comments to Page House. That's on a lighter note. They are waiting for you there. Otherwise, you are one of the wise people, but they don't listen to you. That's why even when you advised them that we are getting out of power, they didn't listen to you. Unfortunately, today they still ask you to be their spokesperson. Don't worry about it. But I don't know whether in DPP, young people like Simplex Chichola Banda, we ever been given a chance to represent them. However, Madam Speaker, on a lighter note, I want to thank UDF. I want to thank you. I want to thank, the only thing that is surprising us is the hairstyle of Mangochi Southwest.
Leader, let's make progress, please. And honorable members, don't fight about September 16. Go out there and work.
Madam, the hairstyle of Mangochi Southwest. Mashado azuobaga mededwe gavena nchito za background. Thank you so much, Honorable. I beg to move that debate be curtailed in order to allow the able Minister of Finance to wind up. I thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable members. The question is that debate on bill number 13 of 2025 be curtailed in order for the honorable minister to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Honorable Minister.
Second Deputy Speaker. Second Deputy Speaker, through you, I would like to respond to submissions made by Chiradzulu South and Zomba Ntonya, who are in their respective portfolios representing their respective parties on issues of finance. Second Deputy Speaker, the issue raised by Chiradzulu South on misalignment of official and parallel rates, as government, we've taken note of the same. Number one, I wanted to inform the general public, but also the House through him, that some misalignments are coming from speculative economic theories that are fueling the glaring gap between the official and the parallel rate for their own good reasons. And I'm happy that the honorable member is quite aware of the same. On the foreign exchange and foreign reserves building up, very soon, Madam Speaker will bring into the House the foreign exchange control bill to be tabled, which has got detailed measures on how we are addressing the challenges of foreign exchange. For Zombanton and DPP and UDF spokesperson, I would like to assure you that immediately we pass the budget, the Ministry of Agriculture, ADMAC in particular, will be given timely funding, because what we want is that very soon they should start buying agricultural commodities. And this is on record, Madam Second Deputy Speaker. Having said this, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, the leader of the House, who is my dear brother, has already responded on the political insinuations. I cannot respond much on political fallacies, but just to assure the House that Boma Ndiromweli, and we are still continuing, and will come back on 16 September 2025. Madam Speaker, I beg to move. Madam Speaker, I beg to move that that second reading be done now.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question, and the question is that second reading of Bill number 13 of 2025 be taken now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Bill number 13 of 2025, appropriation, third reading.
Honorable Minister, third reading when?
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the third reading of Bill 13 of 2025 be laid now and pass.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I now put a question, and the question is that third reading of Bill number 13 of 2025, appropriation, be taken now and pass. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried, therefore the bill has passed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. That we have concluded everything on the budget. Thank you very much, honorable members. May you resume your seats. Thank you. Yeah, we have not yet concluded everything. We have to do it now. Leader of the House, you have the floor.
Right Honorable Speaker, Second Deputy Speaker, the bills right now have been circulated. These are the bill number 11 and bill number 12. They are now on our gadgets, and I would want to employ the honorable members to still hold on up until we do the two bills today. These bills are very critical, and so we are going to do customs bill, the VAT legislation, the VAT amendment bill. These are the bills that are available now. Therefore, members can stretch themselves for 5 minutes, and then we come back. I beg to move that we suspend the House for 5 minutes, and then we come back. I beg
Can't we continue, honorable leader? Okay, honorable members, I now put a question. Honorable leader, before we suspend, honorable leader, we have to move for a supplementary order waiver before we suspend. So can you move, please?
I beg to move that the two bills be taken today, and for that reason, I beg for a supplementary order paper. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I now put a question, and the question is that supplementary order paper be introduced into the House. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Now a motion for suspension.
I beg to move that the House be suspended for 10 minutes in order for us to handle that, or up until when the supplementary order paper is available.
Thank you very much, honorable members. We have a motion before us, and the motion is asking the House to suspend for 20 minutes so that supplementary order paper be introduced. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Mulanje Bale, you were supposed to be seated when the chair was speaking. Thank you. Honorable members, I now suspend the House. We'll be back at 20 minutes after 14 hours. House suspended.
over expenditures out of the budget that we passed last year for 2024-25. Now, these over expenditures have amounted to 500 billion, half a trillion. From the Democratic Progressive Party, we find that this is being too wasteful, too extravagant, and the government must do soul searching why they are overspending in this manner. And I would want quickly, for the benefit of Malawians, to know which votes have overspent. We have number one vote, which is vote 020, which is statutory payments. It has overspent by 151 billion. That is quite too much. We also have the pensions vote 030, 40 billion over expenditure. But what Malawians must take note, they vote on 050, the state residences, as well as 090, which is office of the president and cabinet. Alone, the 050, the state residences, has overspent by 25 billion. The question is, we were in this house, we allotted 42.5 billion for this year. Now, the Minister of Finance has gone ahead to spend without even the knowledge of this house. And he has overspent it by 25 billion. The question is, what is happening in the house?
Paraded in the supplementary appropriation. Overspending by 500 billion is unprecedented. Madam Speaker, I'm looking at the people of Zombantonia who are going to be hungry. The people of Zombantonia who have not accessed...
Honorable member, you are speaking on behalf of UDF, so say the people of UDF.
Madam Speaker, it's an example. I would have mentioned Mangoji Kunguru. The people of Zombantonia, we have members of the UDF too. Even in Karonga, even in Chitipa, we have UDF members. Madam Speaker, as I was saying, to overspend with 500 billion, 500 billion. Madam, this makes me feel sorry for this country. The people that we have entrusted to look at the purse, they must explain how have we arrived at this? What have we done for us to overspend like this? When you look at state residences only, 25 billion, 25 billion. For Utili Lagapinga, Madam Speaker, you can't explain this.
1,000 women are going to State House attending meetings there. Should we be speculating that their allowances are coming from this vote? No. Even chiefs have been invited to State House. Even religious leaders are being invited to State House. The question that Malawians should be asking, is this budget only for politicians, only for the chiefs, only for the religious leaders, only for the women?
Order, honorable members.
If this budget is for Malawians, so my appeal is, when we are appropriating this money, particularly for this money, the Minister of Finance must make sure that he should be prudent enough never to spend out of the budget unnecessarily like this one. The other, I will proceed there. There are also other votes that I will know.
So said the people of UDF.
Madam Speaker, it's an example. I would have mentioned Mangoji Kungulu. The people of Zombantonya, we have members of the UDF too. Even in Karonga, even in Chitipa, we have UDF members. Madam Speaker, as I was saying, to overspend with $500 billion, 500 billion. Madam, this makes me to feel sorry for this country. The people that we have entrusted to look at the purse, they must explain how have we arrived at this? What have we done for us to overspend like this? When you look at state residences only, 25 billion for Utilila Kapinga, Madam Speaker, you can't explain this figure. You know, Madam Speaker, 500 billion.
2025 Taxation second reading.
Honorable Minister, please proceed.
Thank you very much, Second Deputy Speaker. Madam, the bill before the House seeks to amend the Taxation Act. Number one, to align the title of the marginal note to the subject matter provided for in Section 127A, and two, to standardize the rate of tax for all corporations, and thirdly, to increase the withholding tax on winnings on betting and gambling activities. Madam Speaker, the marginal note Section 127A of the Taxation Act is being changed from transfer to defraud and artificial transactions to transfer pricing and other arrangements between related parties to better reflect the section's intent. Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the second reading be taken today. Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Finance. DPP spokesperson. Chiradzulu South.
Thank you, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, for giving DPP the opportunity to comment. I just want to make one or two comments before we comment on this particular bill. I want to indicate that DPP loves this country. DPP loves Malawians. That's the very reason we have made sure that even though we are not comfortable with the budget, we have passed it. It is for the same reason, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, that the minister was not available. I'm sure maybe he may have forgotten some of the bills. But because we love this country, we don't want this country to completely stop. That's why we are here. That's why we have even allowed us to sit, even we can sit here up to even 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., because DPP and our president, Professor Tapita Mutharika, loves Malawians. That's why he's concerned with the issue that we have raised before. I thought I should put that on record. That Malawians know Professor Tapita Mutharika loves you. With these comments, I yield the floor to Honorable Mangochi Southwest to comment on the bill. Thank you, Madam Second Deputy Speaker.
Honorable member for Chiradzulu South is one person. Mangochi Southwest.
Madam Second Deputy Speaker, we in the DPP would like to, quickly, don't worry, quickly, Chief Whip, quickly, just quickly, 1 minute. Speaking on the, quickly, 1 point. Okay, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, we would want to support this bill. We are supporting this bill. But we want to draw the attention of the Minister of Finance that in his budget speech, he had alluded to the fact that he is going to...
Honorable member, may you resume your seat first?
Honorable Speaker, this is a house of records and procedures. And if this was done by Mangochi South, out to some extent, maybe take it that he's not aware, because it's his first term. But Chiradzulu South knows very well that we have one spokesperson per party. You did ask for a spokesperson for DPP. And he rose without asking for a point of order and started commenting. And then he sits down and says, now I usher someone else to speak. Procedurally, madam, it's unfair, it's unprocedural. I beg that that must not happen in the House. I know he wants to speak something good, but he can come under debate, but not at this particular time. Let's follow procedure.
come
I
under
beg
debate.
Second Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Leader of the House, for that guidance. Indeed, it's one spokesperson per party, that's from DPP. But then the reason I allowed him to speak, because Chiradzulu South indeed did speak, but he did not say anything to do with the bill. So I wanted him, since he said he's delegating, I wanted him to comment on the bill, because I want the spokesperson to tackle the bill. He said nothing about the bill. He said nothing about the bill. No, it is not my problem, it is not your problem, but I'm just explaining why I allowed him to speak.
Right Honorable, that becomes a DPP problem, not a House problem. When you innocently accepted Chiradzulu South, you actually said DPP spokesperson. And then, because they keep on changing, we don't know which is the spokesperson that particular time. He is the one you announced in the House. He comes in. He spoke. Madam, let's follow procedures. If he has not spoken anything about the bill, let that be a problem of DPP, but not a problem of the House. I beg you, let procedures be followed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Leader, but I'm also here to guide. If something has gone wrong, I'm here to correct it. They did wrong because he was supposed to tackle the bill. And if I have said that I allowed him to speak because the first person to speak did not talk about the bill, let the honorable member speak something to do with the bill, because that is why we are here. Next time, don't do it, because I will not allow you. One person, one spokesperson per party. That's fine. If you want to delegate while you're seated, not standing and then you delegate. No, it's not like that. Mangochi Southwest, continue.
Thank you very much, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, for that guidance. Quickly on the bill. The Minister of Finance, you had indicated in your budget statement that you are going to include mega farms, in the income taxation bracket.
Honorable member, just to go straight into your facts, don't provoke others here.
Okay.
We don't have time for provocation.
I am not provoking anyone. I'm just saying, Madam Deputy Speaker, I'm just saying that the Minister of Finance had indicated that the mega farms will be included in the priority industry sectors. In this bill, nothing has been mentioned. So I will seek clarification, because he had told the whole nation that mega farms will be included. Number two, we support the amendment that even foreign companies should be subjected to the same regime of 30%. We support that. There is no way we can be discriminating those that are bringing in foreign direct investment. However, we should make sure that everyone is paying taxes in this country. There are certain categories, particularly politically exposed people, that do not pay tax. We don't want to start mentioning them, but wherever they may be, they should know that they should be paying taxes. With these few remarks, we support the amendment bill, but subject to clarification on the mega farms.
Thank you. UDF? Zomba Antonio?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just to put matters into the right perspective, the first to speak is DPP. The second to speak must be UDF. That's putting matters into perspective. Because for two people to comment from the DPP is not fair to the UDF. Madam Speaker, can the UDF be protected, please, Madam Speaker?
Order, members. Order. On what you have said, leader, I have also guided, and I have guided DPP.
Madam Speaker,
thank you
so much for recognizing UDF to comment on the taxation amendment bill of 2025. Madam Speaker, the reason why we are here today is to synchronize the budget activities and the taxation activities. We all know that certain taxes have got specific dates to be implemented. One of those is this one on the floor. Madam Speaker, without much ado, the UDF would like to wholeheartedly support this bill, for it is starting on Monday. Monday being the very first day of the new financial year. So to pass it today, to attend to it today, it is the right thing to do. With those few remarks, I support the bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Leader of the House.
The Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the people that have spoken, including UDF spokesperson, Chiradzuro South and Mangochi Southwest. The problem with Mangochi Southwest is that he speaks and now he's now chatting with Mangochi Makibe. This is a gentleman who worked for MRIA, well conversant with taxes.
Mangochi Southwest, go to your seat.
A person who is well conversant with taxes. Madam, he's genius when he says politically exposed persons must pay tax. I want to include things like cement. When you buy cement, make sure you pay tax, because cement should be part of goods that we pay tax. So politically exposed persons and goods that comes into the country, including cement, all of us should pay. Whether you are a president, you are not a president, you are a minister, you are not a minister, but everybody must pay tax. I want to beg that debate be curtailed in order to allow the able Minister of Finance to wind up.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I now put a question, and the question is that debates on Bill number 11 of 2025, taxation, be curtailed in order for the honorable minister to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, through you, I don't have much to say, but to agree with the two speakers that, yes, we appreciate the fact that they really understand the need to have a very good taxation regime. Madam Speaker, we've taken note of the issues raised, and therefore, Madam Speaker, before I conclude, I would like also to echo to what the spokesperson for UDF actually did indicate, the matter of following procedures. They have always followed procedures, and sometimes when they speak, they also provide suggested solutions. Madam Speaker, in cognizance of the same, Madam Speaker, allow me to beg you, Madam Speaker, that we move to that the second reading be taken now. Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question, and the question is that a second reading of Bill number 11 of 2025 be taken now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Bill number 11 of 2025, Taxation Amendment, Committee State.
Honorable members, it's committee stage. May I ask Honorable Chair for Budget to chair the committee stage. Thank you.
Good afternoon, honorable members. Good afternoon, Leader of the House. Good afternoon, Leader of the House and honorable members. Honorable members, welcome to the committee stage of Bill number 11 of 2025, Taxation Amendment. I wish to inform you that so far the Chair has not received any notice of proposed amendments on this bill. I now put the question that the clauses 1 to 4 stand part of the bill. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honourable members, this marks the end of committee stage of Bill number 11 of 2025, Taxation Amendment. Thank you so much for your active participation.
Bill number 11 of 2025, report stage.
Honorable Minister, what transpired on the committee of
Madam Second Deputy Speaker, I would like to report that the bill passed through committee stage without any amendment.
Honorable members. Honorable Minister,
Second Deputy Speaker, I would like to report that the bill passed through committee stage without any amendment. Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be laid a third time.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question, and the question is that Bill number 11 of 2025, third reading, be taken today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Bill number 11 of 2025, Taxation Amendment, third reading.
Honorable Minister, third reading.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the Bill 11 of 2025 be laid a third time and passed.
Thank you, honorable members. I now put a question, and the question is that third reading of Bill number 11 of 2025, Taxation, be read and pass. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried, and therefore the bill has passed.
Business item 3A, bills. Bill number 12 of 2025, value added tax amendment, first reading.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, second reading when?
Today and now.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put a question, and the question is that second reading of Bill number 12 of 2025, value added tax amendment, be taken now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Bill number 12 of 2025, value added tax amendment, second reading.
Honorable Minister, please proceed.
Madam Second Deputy Speaker, the bill before the House seeks to amend the Value Added Tax Act to provide for the exemption of bread from VAT. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Bread has become a staple food for many families across Malawi, forming an essential part of their daily diet. Recognizing its significance and the financial burden that VAT imposes on consumers, government of Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Jaguera through this bill aims to make bread more affordable by removing the value-added tax. This measure is intended to ease the cost of living and enhance the food accessibility for all citizens. Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be laid a second time. Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Finance. Spokesperson from DPP, Mangochi.
Thank you very much, Second Deputy Speaker. And I would like to thank the leadership of the DPP for entrusting me with this responsibility of responding to this bill on behalf of the party. First Deputy Speaker, Second Deputy Speaker, there's a difference between exemption and the zero rating. If you want a price of a commodity to be reduced, you don't exempt. You don't remove it from the first schedule. Because if you remove it from the first schedule, it is no longer vatable. Now, if an item is no longer vatable, it means the producer of that particular item cannot claim input VAT from raw materials that he incurs when producing that particular product. What that means is that if the producer is failing to recover the input VAT, he is going to transfer it to the consumer as part of production cost. I think it happened last time with cooking oil. The Tonsi administration did exactly the same, and we never saw any reduction in price. Today, they are repeating that very same mistake. If you want an item to reduce in price, you zero rate it. So you leave it on the first schedule, but you put tax rate at zero, so that those who are producing bread should be able to recover the input VAT from flour, electricity, water, all sorts of things, so that the item should reduce in price. Now, what has happened, we will not see any reduction in the price of bread. And therefore, Madam Speaker, if I had an opportunity to say the truth, which I want to say, we do not support this amendment in this form. But we support the spirit of removing VAT charge on bread so that the price should be reduced. But the way to do it is to zero rate it, leave it on the schedule, and put the tax rate at zero, as opposed to remove it from the first schedule where you will not be able to claim input VAT. So First Deputy Speaker, Second Deputy Speaker, I speak like that on behalf of DPP. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. UDF?
Thank you so much for recognizing UDF once again. To comment on the value-added tax amendment bill. Another way, just to buttress on the point that Mangochi Mankibe, representing the DPP, has alluded to, another way to reduce the price of bread is to produce wheat in this country. That's another way of doing it. Because this is where we're going to the Minister of Agriculture now. To me, Madam Speaker, I feel like the Minister of Agriculture has been reduced to an AIP institution, forgetting other equally important functions like research or seed multiplication. At this point in time, we could have been sitting here talking about the tonnage of wheat that this country is producing. If we produce more wheat, it simply means bread will automatically go down. Bread prices will automatically decrease. With those few remarks, Madam Speaker, I support the bill.
Thank you very much. The people of Zombantonia representing UDF, Leader of the House.
Thank you, Right Honorable. To thank the two spokespersons. The question is, are we paying VAT today on bread? Yes. Do we want to remove VAT? He's going to answer. Because as we speak now, we are paying VAT. Do we want to remove it? You wait for the answer. For that reason, I beg to move that debate on this subject be curtailed in order to allow the Honorable Minister, able Minister of Finance, to wind up debate. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Leader. Honorable members, I now put a question, and the question is that debate on Bill number 12 of 2025 be curtailed in order for the able Honorable Minister of Finance wind up debate. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Second, Deputy Speaker, thank you very much for allowing me to wind up debate on this one. Firstly, to thank the spokesperson on finance from DPP, but also from UDF, just to indicate that we've considered all the options of zero rating, standardizing, or exempting. Since some of these schedules would really require government to put in some kind of subsidy, for us, the best option that we thought we could do at the moment is actually to do the exemption. So we understand all the attributing factors as alluded to by the spokesperson of finance, that's Mangochi Mankibe, but at the same time, I also know that he did understand the fact that out of the three options at the moment, the only viable option would be to do the exemption. This therefore means that we are not going to be charging the 16.5% VAT on bread. Having said this, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, I would like to beg that the bill be laid for a second time. Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I now put a question, and the question is that second reading of Bill number 12, 2025, be read a second time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried.
Bill number 12 of 2025, committee stage.
Honorable members, chair budget, the vote is yours for you to come and chair. Thank you.
Honourable members, welcome to the committee stage of Bill number 12 of 2025, Value Added Tax Amendment. I wish to inform you that so far, the Chair has not received any notice of proposed amendments on the bill. I now put the question that the clauses 1 to 2 stand part of the bill. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honourable members, this marks the end of committee stage of Bill number 12 of 2025 Value-Added Tax Amendment. Thank you so much for your active participation. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. Thank you.
Bill number
Thank you,
12
honorable members.
Bill number 12 of 2025, report stage.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, may you report what transpired on committee stage?
Madam Second Deputy Speaker, I beg to report that the bill number 12 of 2025 has passed through committee stage without any amendment. Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be laid for a third time.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put a question, and the question is that third reading of bill number 12 of 2025 be taken now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried.
Bill number 12 of 2025, third reading.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that bill number 12 of 2025 be laid the third time and passed.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put a question, and the question is that bill number 12 of 2025, value-added tax amendment, be read a third time and pass. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried, and therefore the bill has passed. Leader of the House.
Right Honorable Second Deputy Speaker, if I was a prophet, I would say, may all those that have worked hard today come back. I will repeat, if I was a prophet, I would say, may those that have worked hard for Malawians today come back. But the prophet says that you should come back and stay where you are. Don't invade someone's place. Let me thank you in the manner you chaired proceedings, Second Deputy Speaker. Thank you so much for your guidance throughout. Let me also thank the Honorable Minister of Justice for the bill we passed. I know we started. And also greatly to thank the Honorable Minister of Finance for presenting the bills that were presented today. The spokespersons for the wonderful job they have done as well. But most importantly, the honorable members. The Honorable Second Deputy Speaker, as you are aware, that the actual announcement of the Eid holiday awaits the sighting of the moon, and then it is the Muslim Association that announces that. I know you make that announcement, but I'm saying this because my emotion, therefore, it's dependent on your announcement. But since once you make an announcement, I cannot be able to move a motion. The motion is that if the holiday is on Monday, then for sure we're going to come on Tuesday. And it means Monday it's holiday. And Tuesday we come in the chamber. And my motion then is that if we come on Tuesday, we should not come in the morning, but in the afternoon. That's the part of the motion that, according to Standing Order 7, sitting time on Tuesday, on this particular Tuesday, be waived in order to allow us to meet Tuesday afternoon, to allow the honorable members travel back from their constituency and do their work in the House. If, to the contrary, that we advise that the sighting of the moon is on Tuesday and then the holiday is on Wednesday, then automatically procedures of our standing orders will follow. My motion depends on your announcement and specifically the announcement of the Muslim Association of Malawi. I beg to report, in a nutshell, I beg to move. But have a lovely weekend. Eid Mubarak.
Thank you very much, Honorable Leader. What a long motion. Honorable members, before my announcement, I have to put a motion here. And the motion is that if we have the holiday on Monday, we waive all the standing orders, more especially Standing Order 6, which talks about sitting time, that the House resume proceedings on Tuesday afternoon. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Honorable members, before I adjourn the House, I have an announcement to make. I wish to inform the House that we have received a communication from the Ministry of Local Government, Unity and Culture to the effect that following the advice from the Muslim Association of Malawi, MAM, Eid al-Fitr prayers will be held either on Monday, 31st March 2025, or Tuesday, 1st April 2025, depending on sighting of the new moon, marking the end of the holy month of Ramadan. Such being the case, this year's public holiday shall be observed on any of the 2 days based on the final guidance from MAM. In this regard, the House will not meet to conduct deliberations, and Secretariat will provide guidance on the final agreed public holiday day through communication in our various forums by the evening of Sunday, 30th March 2025. We wish all Muslims in the country and the general public a happy Eid al-Fitr public holiday. That marks the end of my announcement. So according to the motion that we have moved, that we have passed, it means if the holiday is on Tuesday, Monday, Wednesdays as usual, we start in the afternoon. But if it is on Monday, then we have to eat more meat for people like us who eat the meat on Monday till Tuesday morning, and then we come back Tuesday afternoon. So, from your chair here, it's happy Eid al-Fitr to you all. I now adjourn the House to... it will depend on the announcement. House adjourned.
Members of Parliament wrapping up their business for the day, which is also week 7, officially leaving them with 2 weeks of business in this first meeting of the 51st session. As the order paper guided, the House started with questions to ministries for oral replies under general business. The ministries that took questions are Ministry of Health, Ministry of Natural Resources and Climate Change, and Ministry of Local Government, Unity and Culture. Under government business, 6 ministries laid at the table their subsidiary legislation, which were later referred to the Legal Affairs Committee for further scrutiny. The House also discussed Bill number 1 of 2025, Companies, Registrations and Intellectual Property Center. The bill seeks to establish a center which shall be a semi-autonomous government agency with its own legal personality and which shall assume the functions of the Department of Registrar General. The Parliamentary Committee on Social and Community Affairs presented an analysis report on the mentioned bill. The House also discussed and passed 2 appropriation bills. These are Bill number 14 of 2025, Supplementary Appropriation Bill, and Bill number 13 of 2025, Appropriation Bill. Appropriation Bill is the proposed law that authorizes the expenditure of government funds. The passing of these bills gives power to the government to start withdrawing funds from the consolidated funds, allocating them to their intended purposes. The 2025-2026 national budget is expected to run from Tuesday, 1st April 2025 to 31st March 2026. The House has also amended and passed 2 bills. These are Bill number 11 of 2025, Taxation Bill Amendment. The bill seeks to amend the Taxation Act in order to standardize the rate of tax for all corporations. And Bill number 12 of 2025, Value Added Tax. The bill seeks to amend Value Added Act in order to provide exemption of trade from Value Added Tax. As of now, the second Deputy Speaker, Honorable Aisha Adams, has since adjourned the House until next week. Omuso ndi momwe zayendera zokambirana za aphungu lero lachisanu pa 28 March 2025 kuno ku Nyumba yamalamulo. Kukangulanso sabata imeneyi yachisanu ndi chiwiri ya number 7 mama sabata 9 amene anakonzedwa mu mkumano umenewu. Monga ndondomeko ya zokambirana za aphungu wa Nyumba yamalamulo inasonyezera lero, nyumbayi inayamba zokambirana zake ndi mafunso kuchokera kwa aphungu kupita ku maunduna osiyanasiyana. Ena mwa maunduna omwe anayankha mafunsowa ndi unduna woona za umoyo, unduna woona za maboma ang'onoang'ono, komanso unduna woona za chilengedwe ndi kusintha kwa nyengo. Kumbali ya boma, nyumbayi inalandira malamulo ang'onoang'ono kuchoka ku maunduna osiyanasiyana, komanso inakambirana Bill number 1 ya 2025, Companies, Registration and Intellectual Property Center. Nayo komiti ya malamulo yoona za chisamaliro cha anthu inapereka ripoti yokhuza bill imeneyi. Aphunguwa anakambirananso ndi kuvomereza Bill number 14 ya 2025, Supplementary Appropriation, komanso Bill number 13 ya 2025, Appropriation Bill, Bill number 11 ya 2025, Taxation Bill Amendment, ndipo yomaliza Bill number 12 ya 2025, Value Added Tax Amendment. Padakali pano wachiwiri wa Speaker wa Nyumba yamalamulo olemekezeka Aisha Adams MP ayimisa zokambirana za aphunguwa kufikira sabata yamawa. Mwalo mwa anzanga onse ogwira ntchito ku Parliament Television, munali ndine Fani Mbwana.